अभी कैमरा देख सकते हैं
और भी
After hiring up people, one of the major challenge in HR functions or HR things, retention. Okay. So how do you promote employee engagement and the positive culture in the organization?
Well, I would say, employee engagement is not just, engaging the employees, having some, internal function or internal, some competitions. It's not just to that. It is actually more to do with lot many things. Somebody says, the leaders and principles and all. So it is not just to stay with the one. It's actually to do with, when you apply each and every day in your life.
I met recently one of the HR manager.
Okay.
And I like the things what they are doing for the person who go to come for the interview. Okay.
Correct.
They are sending a goodies to him.
Okay.
I never thought that this can be one of the part of the employee engagement.
Correct.
But the kind of impression they're going to get the person who's going to come to the still is not decided he want to join with the company or not. But this come as an interview and the guy going to get the goodie from this organization. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Leader Speak podcast episode 2. Today I have a HR manager, one of the biggest organizations like BioQuest. She's there from last more than 10 years experience in diverse industries. Rojalin, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Swaraj. Thanks for having me here. I think pleasure is all mine.
Thank you so much for coming over today. How are you?
I'm fine, absolutely.
Yeah, let's start. Can you just talk about your personal, like where you born, which city, or the education, just to know better.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Swaraj, again, for considering me the platform. First of all, I would like to, convey my wishes to all the women over here who are watching this today. Very happy Women's Day. And, my, introduction, I would just like to start with my, city, small city might be Bhubaneswar, who's belong to Orissa. And I have done my all educations from Bhubaneswar. My technical qualification also from Sikkim Manipal Universities and all. And then I got married and I moved to a place called Amsterdam. We have been there for quite a long time. And then I came back to Bangalore because my husband also got transferred to this place and we moved to Bangalore. I started my career in human resource.
Oh, that's great. That's nice to hear. How many years in Bangalore?
It's more than 11 years now.
Oh, that's great. Can you tell about your experience in HR function?
Yes, of course. I can actually tell you, I have almost extensive experience of more than 11 years. Being in the space of human resource and, organization called BioQuest, who is a company, a global company, in fact. And, having this experience of in the function of HR, I always feel, delighted to be in this function. And I will definitely tell, what always keeps me motivated, I don't know whether you will believe this or not. Before getting into this profession, before I choose this profession, I would have actually explored a lot many profession, like right from interior designing, fashion designing, journalism, something which I was really looking forward. Yeah. And in fact, someone has told me, why don't you try something in, as a air hostess? So lot many things I explored, but finally I ended up with choosing my career, built up my career as a HR professional. Something which, made me fall into this profession. To choose this profession is like, every day the innovations and the learning and, the kind of exposure you are getting in this profession, which really made me to choose this as a career. And I must say, this profession is not just, it's just called human resource. It's just actually, it is all about, people resource. So you can say it's a blend or a combination of how you are helping the organization to grow. You are contributing in the growth of the organization, and as well as you are working in the strategy of the heart, which is people, which is how you talk to people, how you manage the resource in the organization, how you approach the people, which is something very important in this function.
What is one that's like this is why I want to choose on HR. Like for example, normally people, as you told, you have other opportunity also like air hostess or journalism or like XYZ other category you want to choose, but you choose an HR.
Sure.
One thing that this is what purpose of choosing a HR. That's what you can just expand upon.
Yeah, as I told, something I from my beginning of my professional life. I have actually, as I told, explored a lot many professions, but something which I could see is like I always wanted to be in the face of the company. I was capable of leading so many things. My quality of taking the lead for so many activities, initiative from my past college days and all, something which always made me to think on that direction where I can. And then someone, gets along with the people very fast, gets to know the pulse of the people very fast. Somebody who really like to make friends and really like to talk to people.
Correct.
And this is something I think it's very much required in the profession of HR. And I thought somehow this could be the right profession for me, where I could build my career.
See, as you know that HR is very important role any HR department in the organization. And how do you want to stay update on changes in employee laws or regulation? How will be update?
Well, we do have our compliances, consultant who keeps giving us informations, all regarding all the amendments and all the updates, notification from the government and all. Other than that, we have registered ourselves in all sort of compliances, websites and all, where we keep getting notifications and all. And we have an outsourcing agency also, a payroll agency. They also keeps us updating with all sort of amendments and all.
In any organization, hiring is very important. As a HR is one of the major role for HR.
So,
Can you help me? What is your example of one of the hiring or talent acquisition strategy that you normally use it in your organization?
Okay, well, to answer this question, to relate that question, so I would like to throw some lights on our how we form the recruitment team and how important it is the role of a recruiter or the TA team in this entire context. So basically, when, let me just start with this, education is something which we really don't consider it's important, to get into a profession called human resource. This is my, personal perception. And you need to really have a, aspiration towards this. You really need to have a, aptitude towards building a career in HR. And especially when you talk about recruitment and all, we also do a lot of hiring in our organization. When we choose the recruiters and all, we always keep this in our mind, the person who is going to play the role of a recruiter should have that attitude towards the learning, towards, getting the right people in the organization who will be culturally fitting into our organization. And also they should be having, empathy towards the people. See, of course, I won't deny the data is important, but with the data, how to deal with the people is something which is very important. And also, how to invent and simplify the things. How to avoid the criticality, how to take the decisions, how to make the, to solve the problems and independently taking the decisions. So all this, things comes into the picture when you choose a recruiter, because they play a very crucial role in the organization, because they are the one who are going to choose people and getting the right people in the organization. So to answer this question, I will come to this question. So in our organization, we are an industry which is very niche, and we choose people, we choose the talent with lot of after a lot of assessments and all. So over this past year, almost 3-4 years, I must say, we have been able to double the organization. And I must say, I must convey this, regards to my tier team for contributing a lot for building of this, organization, and to giving this shape to this organization. And a lot of strategies could come into the picture when you are actually choosing. There is no specific one strategy we have applied here. So there are a lot many things which we have done in this. There is something which we have, I believe in my organization is like internal job posting, because our people knows our requirement more. That is something which I strongly believe. Because instead of getting, outsourced through our agency, because there are many organizations who does this. But instead of getting, explaining the requirement to then getting the people and all, so we prefer to, get the resources through our internal resources, which they know, they recommend the right people, and, we get the right talent.
Agreed.
So we keep doing the internal job posting, and, people used to, and in fact, to promote that, to motivate the people in a different way, we have also, drive some incentive system where, we will also feel motivated and, refer some good profiles and all. This is something which we are doing. And these days we are promoting interns, a lot. So people who comes with a experience of 1-2 years, or people who are actually freshers comes out of the college, universities, and they for them also, we are giving them opportunity so that they come, they learn, they grow up, they scale up, they upskill their, the qualities, they attain all our mentorship program, they attain all our, internal learning development systems. So these are some, things which has actually helped us to grow our organization in a better way, I feel.
So, yeah, I liked it that internal process, that internal employee, they can put the references.
Yes.
Or you have some incentives system for them that's very good. Maybe they'll also get motivated.
Get motivated and all, yeah.
After getting hiring people, one of the major challenge in HR functions or HR things, retention. Okay,
True.
That's very important, because when you get a talented people, it's very difficult to maintain retention for the longer time. Now, my next question is, how do you promote employee engagement and the positive culture in your organization? Because this is very, very important to me, because HR people is very important for the organization to give a positive culture for the employee, because that's very important, because it shows that your company culture, and the HR people is responsible for that kind of a positive culture going to build in the organization.
True.
Saying that and doing that one, how you going to engage these people, like talented people, how you going to retention? Like, it's very tough in a situation presently, because you get a number of opportunity for them. What kind of employee engagement you going to do it?
Well, I would say, employee engagement is not just, engaging the employees, having some, internal function or internal, some competitions. It's not just to that. It is actually more to do with lot many things. Somebody says, the leadership principles and all. So it is not just to stay with the wall. It's actually to do with, when you apply each and every day in your life. It's every day there is some learning from that. So that is when your leadership principle comes into, your organization, right? And one of the leadership principle which I have, heard somewhere, or I read, article is like, how to be a good employer. Many organizations are promoting this, this thing, leadership principle these days. So I could believe, it is, not to just with, hiring or, how to retain. It's lot many to do with that as well. So when you get a resource in the organization, as you said, you're absolutely right, to retain the right resource in the organization is very challenging for HR. So where, our interventions or our role is coming in this entire context is like to talk to people. That is something which is very important. how to approach them and, to understand their, requirement, their challenges in the organization. Again, to guide them how they can grow in the organization, to guide them how they can upskill in the organization. Not just to limit it with the middle management, again to a leadership role as well. And, if at all, nowadays, again, many organizations are promoting, in fact, I would also promote this, to take care of the mental well-being of the employees, physically and mentally as well. So we also, keep, motivating people to take care of their health. Not extend the working hours, how you can take care of the family, how you can take care of your health, lot many things. And I would also suggest, probably this is something which is right now coming to my mind when I'm sitting here, because we keep exploring in and around always, suggestions from everyone, so something people who are actually a potential resource in your organization, somebody who is actually having a long association with the organization and, you feel like, the person is loyal to the company, we should actually introduce something called sabbatical for them. We should not hesitate to allow them for a sabbatical where, many people, they sometimes they're bugged out of what they're doing, finding the work as a monotonous or something, and they just wants to take a break and come up with a fresh mind and all. Sometimes I think we should allow them to do that so that they will come up with a lot of innovations, lot of new thoughts, lot of new, creative concepts and all. So this is something which I really, find it helpful. And other than that, these days, compensation is something which is again coming to the picture. People are not satisfied with the compensation and leaving the organization. See, this could be one of the reasons, but the major things which comes to the, this entire context is like appreciation, which many organizations, they don't do. I will tell, appreciating the, result is not important, where appreciating the effort is something which is very important. It's not just the result. See, I will just give a small example about a recruiter.
Yeah.
See, when we hire a resource in the organization, we put a lot of efforts in the, right from the scratch to the, getting a person in the organization. A recruiter role is very important, as I've already told. They will actually do a headhunting, they will post it in the portal, and they will do a, a lineup, many, 50 people, they will talk, and out of that, 5 people will turn up.
Correct.
And, technical interview, assessment, followed by, the technical discussion with the manager, then the next level manager, then the HR round, then the compensation negotiation, not many things coming into the picture. But end of the day, sometimes, many times in fact, I have seen, the candidate backed out on the day of joining. So what happened, your entire, effort from the scratch to the joining is actually gone for a toss in a single day, right?
It happens like
It happens. It happens in many cases, in fact.
Oh, really?
And because they will have a counter offer and they will go to any other organization. Of course, that is very, it's an industry, rule actually. Whoever will offering more, then of course the candidate will choose that option. But what I all wanted to see is like, the kind of effort the person is putting in here,
Yep.
in overall, getting somebody to the organization, actually a lot, right? But the effort is not being considered when we are actually counting, how many position has been hired, right? So this is just an example I'm giving. So similarly, in all the functions, so rather than, going behind in the result always, so we should appreciate the kind of effort the person has put in the entire project. So this is something I strongly believe. And in this, process of, talking to people, you will also come to know lot many things, like what challenges they face in the organization. And if at all, they are having any issues with the organization or with the manager or with the team or with the peers, you will come to know during your discussion with them. And that is something where, HR plays a very important role to identify that and to understand that and help them to, resolve that. And see, actually, what happens many times, people, there is this saying is there, people leave the manager, not the organizations and all.
Correct.
So it is actually not true. I will say. Because somehow or other, we are also going to be a leader tomorrow. We are also going to be in the place of manager. It is not to do with that. People also leave the organization because to fit into the organization culture is something which is very important. And I must say, when I joined this organization, from my beginning, I was actually overwhelmed to think, whether I will be a right fit for the organization, whether I will be, fitting into the culture of the organization, whether I will be able to manage my role, my responsibilities. But I must say, I am sure this, in this show, I will definitely share it with a lot of mentors who have been watching today. I will definitely share this. So I have to say this. I must say thanks to all the mentors, my leaders who have been actually helped me a lot during my initial days to groom up, to upskill me to this level what I am today.
That's clear.
So yes, that's all actually.
Thanks for sharing. All those things as a HR, the time is very precious.
Yeah, true. Very true. Absolutely.
And you should have ample of time to prioritize yourself. How are you going to do it from yours? What are the things like priority? Okay, this, everyone gets same time because as HR, you have a multiple of things to handle.
Yeah.
Annual process or recruitment board, planning board, training board, all the things. How are you going to prioritize your time, please?
True. You were just going through some article yesterday. So someone says women are weak because they are emotional. I will not really agree to that because, being emotional, leading to empathy is not something what you call is a weakness. It's in fact the sign of a strength, I believe strongly. So as a woman, we play multiple roles in our life actually. I can tell you, being a mother of a 6-year-old kid, I myself find it, find a lot of challenges in my, career, in my day-to-day activities and all. But somehow, how you can manage your personal priorities and your professional priorities is something and I would say this is all mindsets, right? So you need to define this for yourself. That is something which is important. You have to decide how you can manage your personal belongings and your professional belongings. So at the end of the day, you really need to be fit and fine, and you really need to be mentally and physically fit to take care of all your, belongings around, right? So at the end of the day, I usually prefer, at least having some me time for me, at least dedicate some time for myself, so that I could personally, pursue my, personal aspirations, my, hobbies, my passions and all. So somehow I managed to do that. And I usually, out of this profession, I usually prefer to go for dance, go for, singing something and all. And sometimes cooking, decorating my house, going for Zumba. This is something, these days, something Zumba is like, my favorite. I keep doing that. So somehow I'm managing this. I feel and everybody should be able to do that. They should define, what is their priorities and what they really need to do.
To get more energized yourself.
Correct.
To get more productive way, more effective way.
Yeah. Because these days, mentally fit is very important. And physically, so definitely you have to fit. Otherwise, it's going to be, you will have lot many issues, health issues and all tomorrow with this challenging, days of, working hours being extended for so many hours and all. So somehow you have to prioritize your things.
Any organization, they put a lot of either money or time or training and develop for employee engagement. How do you define employee engagement and why it is important for us, any organization?
To answer this actually, so as I told already, employee engagement is not just to, lie within the organization, like, having some fun and event for them or getting some, gifts for them. It is not just to with that. It's actually to do with more. So, it is important to maintain, better health of the organization. To satisfy the employees, to know, to understand, their level of satisfaction in the organization and how successfully or how productively you are actually answering them, you are getting along with them. to address that. And if you are actually identifying the right, what do you call the queries or right concerns, you'll be able to address that in a right or proper direction. So for all this, actually, employee engagement is the only, medium, I say, or the right forum to get everybody in, in one page, And I have seen actually from my, my experience, I will tell one of, the initiative we have recently started in our organization, which is called HR Connect. So Connect. So this is something which we have come up with after putting a lot of thoughts and all that. So, so the HR Connect is basically has come like, the connection between the target audience and the HR. So where what we are doing is like, we are connecting
Audience means you.
our employees. Yes. So it's like, we have exclusively, we are planning a one-to-one discussion with the team. I mean, if let's say a small function called finance or a multimedia or designing or medical content writing, all this. So what we do, we usually have a discussion with them. We call all of them, not like, the entire organization. So we try to customize that so that our connectivity with them will more. So where we are trying to understand the concerns of, the team members. We are trying to understand if at all they are having any challenges in the organization, if at all they are having any feedback for us. And any organizational-wise, infrastructure-wise development they need in the organization, and any employee engagement activities they want us to drive. So all those discussion we are doing. So by doing this, the objective of all this is like to connect of them and also, to make them feel comfortable and more importantly, to make them feel important in the organization, where they will feel delighted. Okay, HR has called us for a exclusive discussion and all. So some of them, they really feel like it's day one, like, butterflies in their stomach. Sometimes, HR ne call kiya, what is going to happen and all that. But we just wants to break that barrier and, call them, get them on board, have the discussion with them, make them familiar, make them, comfortable in the organization so that we could understand their concerns and we could address that. This is something a kind of, I think, engagement activity, what we are driving, where we are contributing to the organization as a function and we are giving values to the employees where they feel themselves, glad to be a part of BioQuest tomorrow, right? And this kind of engagement activities, and also recently we had one activity called BioQuest Connect Room, where again, we have done it for our all Mumbai and Maharashtra, Pune, that entire, belt, where we called everyone and we had some kind of, training. It's not actually the proper, classroom kind of training. It was actually a kind of a networking. So where people came, they, meet each other, greet each other, have some fun time, talk to each other, share their experience related to the project there. People have explored, they are sitting, they're just, staying in a place where, just staying 200 meters away, but they don't know each other actually.
That's true. They send a mail or they'll just call. They have that.
Especially after this COVID, this has actually happened quite often. I mean, people, they talk over the phone, they chat with each other, but don't know each other actually. So that is the platform we have actually given to employees where they will get that connectivity with each other.
Initiative.
Yeah. So it was actually a very, hit program. Many people appreciated that, and, we were actually having objective to, get people there and, ask them to meet each other and all, but it went beyond that actually, which we were not expecting.
Yes, right.
So that was something which I really felt in that way, we as a HR function could able to contribute something to the organization. We add a value to the organization. And as I told, it's not to do with only some fun elements and all. This is also important. Again, how do you drive, team initiative and all, send them out so that, collaboration with the team, like, not from a, exclusive function, from various diverse functions and all. People will come collaborate. When they do such team building activities and all, you'll really find them, it's like, the child within them will come out, they really enjoy, they have fun and all, they from different functions and all, people, you glad to see, having fun together. And we really drive our, once in a year, our company, annual program. Once in a year we do, and it's what you called, it's not limited to in India. We call global people also. We invite global people also, like from Singapore, Malaysia, and other places wherever we have people around. And it's a blast, in fact, program. We do it in a very grand way, where we give opportunity people to be there from for 2-3 days and have some time also. We initiate some cultural activities also. So that is when we try to engage employees, and they look forward, like, when they will come be a part of, many people have asked, okay, Rojalin, when we are having this year. So that means they look forward. That means they are having, good time, associating with BioQuest. That is something we really feel good, like we are contributing to the company by engaging employees.
Yeah, that's great. You're doing a lot of other employee engagement event. Right?
Yeah.
Recently, I came across, I met recently one of the HR manager.
Okay.
And I like the things what they are doing for the employee. Not employees, basically. It's like the person who going to come for the interview. Okay.
Correct.
They sending the goodies to him.
Okay.
I never thought like this can be one of the part of the employee engagement.
Correct.
Because the kind of impression they're going to get the person who's going to come for the still is not decided he want to join with the company or not. But this come as an interview, and the guy going to get the goodie from this organization. I felt so happy. Although this is something unique in the world. Something maybe people are doing. People are doing now. I don't know, but I just recently came across that. Okay, this can be part of the employee engagement. Like
Correct.
the future employee, how you want to treat in the inside.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. This reminds me, usually we also send, the joining kits on the very first day. Yeah. But this is something very new, I also came to know. In fact, we could think about this. It's going to be challenging, of course. A lot of financial implications and all. Yeah. I said a lot of financial implications and all. But yeah, of course, this is a very good idea. Not just to, feel, just to make the, employee feel like, just to keep them warm and, feel them they are going to be associated with this organization. The company is already giving you values before you join the company. So this is something.
That's really because when we talk about in sales term, normally you have 3 different kind of prospects, like cold prospect, warm prospect, and hot prospect. And when it comes to employee, you have to consider what you told you warm. No? That's very important. How we want to engage, how we want to nurture them. That's make sure use it.
True.
So ultimately, employee has to onboard with you because are really
Correct. And also in the organization, something, leadership team and all. So for them, you have to really break our head and think of something really creative and innovative and all. Because, the people, they have to actually define, what is middle management, what is senior level leadership team, senior leadership team, all that we have to define. So the kind of initiative, what we usually initiate, drive for the middle management, we can't drive it for the leadership. So for them, some sort of, mentorship program, leadership initiative program, this is something which could contribute, help them to grow, to think on a big picture always.
Yeah. After doing all these initiatives, what you're talking about, HR Connect or a one-to-one session with employee, and we involve them also in a different employee engagement aspect. How do you measure the success of HR programs or initiatives? How are you going to measure? That's very important. The output is very important.
True.
Yeah, that's how we going to measure those.
True. As I told this forum, what we have done, it's a kind of activity, engagement activity, and also a forum where we are actually getting the feedback. It's actually a two-way communication, if you see. Other than this, as I told, as an employee engagement, initiative, we usually we do a shout out for people who are completing, their 5 years in the organization, 10 years in the organization, 15 years in the organizations. And other than that, work anniversaries and birthdays and people who are actually onboarding, we usually send everybody a welcome introduction email for that particular employee or the team member, mentioning, we try to keep it, mention it little interesting, putting their hobbies, their passions, their, the movies they aspire, all that stuff I know. So, see, this is something which has also come as a feedback. In fact, one of our leaders, he has brought this to our attention to make it little slurry and send it to people and all. And something which I would tell, this employee engagement, how we are measuring and all. From the beginning of my conversation, if you could see, I am always focused on one thing, which is people. I mean, HR is, as a function, is all about people management. As from the beginning, I've told multiple times also. So to measure this, actually, we have various, forum where we can actually, access or pull out the feedbacks of the people. We usually initiate feedback forms and all. After each initiative we drive, let's say we have some celebration like company annual day, like we have done that connect home activity and all. For everything, we usually share a feedback form where we used to get the feedbacks, and we could understand, where the areas of improvement, where we could contribute when we drive it in the next time. Other than that, we are also driving one feedback session of each and every new joiner who comes to our organization. Post completing 1 month in the organization, we drive an initiative called post-hiring session, post-hiring feedback, which is one-to-one with the candidate, with the employee, where we ask them their experience, just to make them comfortable, just to understand if at all, because its initial days are actually crisp. A lot of people, if they don't find the organizational culture and all, they leave the organization, right? So if at all they're having any challenges with the managers or the team, or, the expectations are different. So they decide to take a leave. So how we can contribute? So we thought of coming up some concepts like that. And, we are talking to them now. We are understanding the concern, the induction, process, if at all anything, the HR feedbacks, like, from the time the recruiter has connected, how they feel. Is there anything? Is there a delay from the HR? Is there a delay from any other person? How comfortable they are, like the buddies and all, they are cooperating or not? The team members are cooperating or not? And their feedbacks for HR also. So it's a session of almost 10 to 15 minutes, where it's just spending some 10-15 minutes time with them. But in that way, we gather a lot of information for ourselves. So that is something I feel, it's really helping us, to understand the employees, the pulse of the organization, pulse of the employees, to grow and to contribute in a better way. People, no matter actually they are happy with the organization or not, when they really feel, the organization is actually giving importance to you, that is when you feel delighted, right? Isn't it?
That's true. Yeah.
It's a human psychology, right? Somebody who is actually appreciating you, okay, Baswaras, you have done an amazing job. Don't you feel glad? Don't you feel delighted?
100%.
So this is what actually every human being actually, I feel, require. Like, everyone, each one of us, even right from a junior resource in the organization to a person who is actually playing a leadership role in the organization, they also need some sort of motivation in the career. They also need some sort of, appreciation in their life, right? So then they feel like, HR is giving importance to us, spending time with us for 15 minutes to understand. So they feel delighted. So we are getting a lot of good responses for that, and also for any initiative we drive, we usually take the concerns of the senior leaders to engage them, so that it is not just, just to take their ideas. Of course, their ideas, matters a lot, because they come up with a lot of concepts and all. But also to give them importance again in that way, to consider their feedback, to ask, what we can do for you, what we can do for your team. How do you want us to drive this program? Please let us know some thoughts, so that we will also, do a little bit of brainstorming and come up with something for you. So that is when they feel also, okay, as a leader, we are also contributing to the organization, giving some ideas to the HR to drive something new, bringing something new concepts. So this is also actually really helping. So this is how we are actually, there is no parameter, no dashboard where we can actually, because this is a qualitative contribution you are doing to our organization. It's not something, out of 10 you are scoring 9 or something. It is not just to lie within that. We feel much beyond that. We really, want to become much beyond that. So when we do such things and all, so people think, yes, they think privileged, they feel honored in the organization. That is, I think, that is how we are measuring.
That's true. Yeah. And you talk about the feedback, right? Now,
Yeah.
this will happen once in a month.
Right after any initiative, we do that actually for the this one.
More into one-to-one.
Yeah, for feedback session, like for the employees, we do it once they complete 1 month in the organization.
So you're going to talk to this. So basically, the one-to-one.
Basically, one-to-one. We schedule a discussion
Acha.
and talk to them, understand right from their experience, right from the recruitment to the they complete 1 month.
After doing this one-to-one session with the employee, after joining a fun one, if you rate it from 1 to 10,
Yeah.
what is the result you have? Like when you not earlier not done anything like that. Once you start this feedback session after completing 1 month in any employee, what is the rate you go to? From if you let's say from 1 to 10, what is the point? Like how much you improve from your end?
See, actually, we ask them to score. Actually, we give them a parameters like, how do you rate us? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. So they used to rate. They used to let us know if at all somebody is actually coming up with, As of now, fortunately, we have not got fight from any of them. So we're glad and privileged.
What is giving result to you? That's
Yeah.
good. That's very important.
If at all we really feel, somebody who is coming up with fight. So what is the reason for that? Where, somewhere where we could help that. Where we could, our intervention is required. So that is when the objective of the session is all about that, right? How we can improve, the employee feeling actually these days, lot of innovations and all is coming, with technology. I think we have also adopted technology tools, automations and lot many things actually. So with that, I think a lot of things has been also, falling into the place, helping us to, evaluate the things in a better way.
Once the employee engagement is happened, like for example, the employees are on board after taking feedback from each employee after 1 month and all.
True.
And they will definitely have a different divisions like department was like HR or marketing or operation, technology, IT, finance, all department. And it's very important to keep the culture, what you have different, or the relationship, what you want to build within the organization with the different department. How are you going to maintain this? How are you going to keep positive culture between the department? I'm not talking about the individual employee.
Correct.
And between the employee, that's overall going to help the organization to build in a different positive culture, what we discussed.
True.
Can I just
Yes, of course, I strongly believe, diversity and inclusion is something which plays a very important role in the organization. We should always promote the diversity. It's not, many organizations, they consider diversity is to do with their gender. It's not to do with that, actually. It's to do with many things. We should always encourage diversity beyond, lot many things like, let's say from educational background, let's say companies, let's what do you call sexual orientation, we call it. There is lot many things actually. So we should always promote that. And in fact, if you look at within the organization also, we should promote the diversity. I mean, from different department or different functions, and also in our organization is concerned, we really try to keep them motivated by engaging them when we drive some activities and all. We always try to engage not as an individual department or a function. We try to initiate the activity in such a manner or such a way so that each and everyone from every individual department will participate together as a team. They will take part in that activities and all. So that is when they collaborate with each other. And we as a HR, also try not to do any sort of, it's there is a saying like, you trust more and micromanage less, right? It's actually true. I mean, when you do trust, you will see a lot of improvement and all. So it is not like, we don't entertain that. We encourage people to come and participate. We encourage, people to contribute to the organization, and we promote the employee engagement activities. We promote the team engagement activity. We promote, team building activities. In fact, where, people from a different department come together and, they play something, as a individual game, or it could be some competition or anything. So that is when we try to, make that, relations, build up that relation with the functions and all. And also when we do such, mentorship program or any kind of leadership training or anything, we don't partial enough. We don't take it, or we don't consider, okay, this function has to be like this. This has to be done like that. Not like that. So we thought, okay, it has to be for everyone. It should be a common forum for everyone. So that is something where, I think, as a HR, we are, as a moderator, in fact, of the organization, we play a very crucial role. Not prioritizing any specific department, not giving importance to any department. If it's like, the productivity of the department or the revenue they are getting, we are getting, out of them, not like that. So we consider the organization as a team, and we try to, initiate something where they will collaborate with each other. That is something I think I strongly believe.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really great. From last couple of minutes we discussed about a lot of strategy, a lot of engagement, a lot of culture about the HR people. And so many people are watching this podcast, and especially there are more executive HR executive. Just they started in the organization, maybe it's a 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year, or some people, students like doing MBA or MSW and other things. They want to be focused on the HR department, like HR as a professional career. What two advice you want to give these people? What they can take to advice from you that they can be helped, because you have an immense experience in HR, more than a decade in a diversified in different industries. What you can suggest, what can advise you give for two, like let's say two advice for these people?
Sure. First of all, I still feel like, I have to go long, the sky is the limit. You really need to, invent and, learn each and every day of your life. That is something which I believe I have a long way to go and learn. I think 10 years is not something, but thanks for appreciating my experience. But yeah, as you said, HR has been actually as a function evolved a lot, from many years. I mean, over these years, actually, it has been like that. So earlier days, we used to call it as, employee experience. And now it is actually human resource. And initially it was that. And then again, it has been transferred to human resource. And then now the new terminology in HR, we are using it as people experience and technology, where we use the technology to understand the experience of the people. We are actually being automated, transfer from a manual, procedure to automation. You can see this coming with, the AI and all. A lot of things is being automated, which is actually helping us, to increase the productivity and lot many things. So this is how the HR has actually transformed. Similarly, if you see, with this, even we as a human being also has to be transformed, from the way we were before 5 years and how we are now and how we are going to tomorrow. So this is how we have to transfer ourselves as well. That is what I believe. And of course, if you'll ask me what advice I could give to the people who are looking forward to choose HR as a profession. So one thing I think already I mentioned that I have already answered this question. So 2-3 things which I strongly recommend is like something which, the first thing is like, people in HR, it has to be, empathize. I mean, because we are the face of the company, I believe. And, somebody who comes, how to talk to them, how to be approachable is something which is very important. So, and with the existing, system, with the existing data we have, if at all somebody is coming to us with any queries or any concerns and all, leading to empathy and how to resolve that is something which is very important, I see. And also, as I told already, education is something not very important in the function of HR. You really need not to be from the HR background with extensive experience of many years and all. Not really. I mean, we really need not to have a education which belong to human resource. It's not required. But where you can contribute is something, your decision-making power, the kind of individual contributor role you play in the organization. So these are the things which, it's very important. And also, as I told from the beginning, every day there is something which you have to invent and learn as well. Every day. It's like the learning is never, having a, full stop actually. Every day there is something, challenges will come in your way and you have to discover something new. You have to, get through that and, you have to run it through. So this is something in HR is very important, and how you simplify that also, how you put across also, it's very important. As I told, with this technology and tools, automations, innovations, automations, a lot many things are coming into picture. But if you see, we as HR come up with a lot of processes, policies, SOPs in the organization. We build and we, bring a lot many things to the organization. Some other way, we are actually, bringing something for the employees, growth of the organization and all those stuff. But if you will not simplify those things and all, I will not put it in the right direction, people will not admire that, people will not follow that, people will not consider that. Because, see, let's say just an example, we have got a lot of e-commerce websites and all these days. And let's say just example, YouTube. You see any layman or my son, in the age of 6 years, he knows how to explore, quickly tuck everything he knows these days. So we have not, allowed him to learn all that. We have not told him, okay, you check and, Google it, or YouTube it. We have not told, but he has, with this technology advance and all, because people around him has made the, culture in such a way, he himself has learned all that, right? So similarly, so it is something when, this, we, let's say, as I was telling this example of, e-commerce websites and all. See, you ask anyone, so Amazon, ClickCat and all, say they have made their, collaboration, they have made their systems and, the websites and in such a way, I mean, so beautifully they have planned and managed. Any layman can actually access, right? You need not to, think like, it's complicated. How do I go? I mean, with their policies of return, the procedures, what they have, it's so, simplified these days, right? That's why, the e-commerce is actually booming these days. So that is how. So when we also come up with something, any tools, and because we have to rely on that these days, right? So when they bring such initiative in the organization, it should be always simplified. People should not be like, putting a lot of things, lot of flowery language, lot of, complicated, tools where you have to go this, we have to go there and all that. We have to simplify things. So this is something I think, as a HR, we have to think in that direction and not to complicate the things and simplify the things for the people. That is something, a character which HR should, any HR professional should have. I think these are 3 things which I would say, people who are watching this, they should come up with these qualities when they choose HR as a profession.
Basically, what I understand, like maybe adoption of technology.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Simplify that.
And simplify that. And one is the continuous learning. That's not the solve.
Yes.
Should we say HR, any profession you choose also, you have to learning.
Absolutely.
That's very important. Thank you so much for coming over here and sharing all your knowledge to the upcoming HR people. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me here. I think with my limited knowledge, I think I could share a bit of my experience, and it's all my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a great conversation with Rojalin. And from this episode, I have a 3 takeaway. The first one is the adoption of technology with simplified. That's what I felt is one of the takeaway. And second one will be, instead, don't focus only physical fitness, focus on mental health also. Because nowadays, there's a lot of things happening in the corporate sector. It's very important to be more fit into mentally. And third one is feedback. Any organization, if you have a one-to-one feedback with the employee, and that gives a lot of understanding about the employee, what problem you're facing, what kind of things you're looking for the organization. This is 3 takeaways from my side. Thank you so much. Hi everyone. If you like this episode, please do subscribe and share with your friends, colleagues, or relatives, any upcoming HR executives. See you in the next episode.